What's up, everybody? I'm back here once again to do another review. And for today's review, I'm talking about yet another independent film. And this one I actually got sent by the director in the mail, and it was on a screener copy. And it was actually the first screener that I had ever received in the mail. And when I did, I was just so excited because I've always wanted to receive screeners from directors and get a chance to see films before they're officially released, or just help a independent director out, just to review their film and check it out and recommend it to other people. So when I got the disc, I was pretty excited. This is what it came in. The actual disc is in my player, but he sent it to me on a DVD-ROM. And yeah, so I actually got a chance to hear about this movie in this Facebook group I'm in called Beneath the Underground, which is a really great group that's dedicated to nothing but independent directors or independent filmmakers, basically. If anybody's interested in joining that, I'll leave a link down below to the Facebook group. But the director himself, he posted on the page talking about these two films that he had, and I messaged him on Facebook and said, hey, I'll review your films for you, and he said sure. And so a few weeks later, that came in the mail. And I'm actually reviewing two of his films this week, and the first movie that I'm reviewing is one that I was really excited to see, not only just on the trailer, but the name of this movie was just outrageous. But the movie I'm going to be reviewing is called Weed Wolf. And like I said, just that name, I knew I was in for a treat with this movie. I'm a fan of stoner comedies, and combining weed with a werewolf. I mean, how cheesy could you get, But when I first popped it in, I really didn't know what to expect. And this movie is a great homage and a great sort of love letter to grindhouse films. It is definitely a grindhouse feel. The entire film, it looks grainy. There's lines throughout the entire movie. At some points, the camera goes in and out of focus, and it's basically just a complete, just cheesy, no budget at all, grindhouse style flick, and with absolutely no money, I'm sure. But I absolutely really did enjoy this movie. I thought it was really funny at some points, and I thought it was just over the top without them basically doing much. You could really tell that this guy basically just got some people together and made the movie out of his pocket. But basically the movie starts off with basically this girl who's kind of like a hippie type girl, and she's fooling around with this transvestite guy, and you can kind of tell that she's kind of like the dumb blonde character, because she thinks that the guy is as a girl. And they're smoking a joint, and while this is happening, of course a werewolf comes in and kills them both. And after the werewolf does that, he ends up taking the joint with him and basically just starts smoking it. And basically the movie is basically just the werewolf basically being stoned throughout the entire movie, going around killing people that smoke weed. And yeah, and he has this big of course, he has a werewolf costume. The way that the mask looks is that his face just does not move. You can really tell that he just got this mask from a Halloween store. I think I've actually been to some Halloween stores that have actually had a mask like this. And because I've actually seen it for sale, but it doesn't, it doesn't move. His mouth doesn't move at all. He's wearing a plaid, he's wearing plaid and pants, and he's basically just going around in this small town, and the entire town is called Normal, and it's basically just this redneck, southern town, or at least that's how I'm calling it. I'm not trying to do trying to say, oh well, people over here they're redneck. I'm not saying that. This is just how the people actually act, And basically, he's just in this sort of a southern town that is basically just filled up with either people smoking weed, or you have religious fanatics and people like that, and the whole town is basically just going downhill. You actually get introduced to the three sort of characters you follow around in the film, which is of course the Sheriff Hardwood, and his deputy. And you also get introduced to the guy that actually sent me the movie is actually in the film and calls himself Bumper Hardwood is his name in the film. I'll type in the name of his actual name, the director's name. I think it's Tommy Slama. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing that wrong. If I'm pronouncing that right, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. But I'll type it in the title. But basically he's kind of like this sort of dumb. His character is just sort of this dumb guy, completely just redneckish in the entire movie, and he basically just follows his dad around, basically just helping him out, with the crime scenes and whatnot. And their deputy is, I think he's supposedly Mexican, or at least that's what they think, and he speaks perfect English, but every time the deputy talks, the sheriff asks his son Hardwood to basically communicate and basically translate for him, and it's pretty funny. You also get introduced to one of the the news team that's in this, and there's there's a reporter there, and she's supposedly this hot girl in the entire town. Just the sheriff and everybody basically wants to have sex with her. Every time Bumper has to talk to her, he ends up, if you can get what that means. But every time he tries to talk to her, he pretty much does that, and he basically just cannot talk to women at all. But you get introduced to her. You also get introduced to these two news anchors, and they basically just wake up every morning. They're just like, oh, just whatever. I don't care what's going on, and just a man and a woman are news anchors, and basically the entire town is just this over the top, just basically a redneckish town. There are people that they just go around talking about, getting drunk and, just smoking all the time. Also, I think it's funny how, the way it's edited, after something funny or somebody says a funny line in the film, it cuts to some people sitting at a bar laughing. And it's supposed to sound as if, it's happening up on a stage or whatever. And it cuts out of the film to that, and it cuts back to it, which I thought was kind of humorous throughout the entire movie. The movie is really entertaining. But you're also introduced to some other characters in the film that you pretty much follow. But basically the entire movie is just this grainy, just no budget, just movie about this werewolf that's going around smoking weed and killing people in this, like I said, this redneck town. That's pretty much the storyline. I don't want to give too much away into this, so I'm not going to really go into any more detail about it. I will say that if you're into these no-budget films, like I said, if you're into the southern type, characters that are, they're loud, they talk about drinking, just constantly in the film, talking about drinking, smoking. Pretty much every 10 minutes of the movie, there's a pair of boobs, and sometimes sometimes it's random, sometimes it's not. Like at one point, the sheriff and them, they go to this strip club, and his son Bumper's just sitting there like, and it's just hilarious, just the way that he acts and everything. And they talk a bit about how he got his name. Apparently, he hurt his head when he was younger, and his IQ just went down because of it. I forget exactly how he did it, but yeah, if you're just into just no budget, southern sort of grindhouse feeling films, then I actually do recommend this movie. If you're a fan of stuff like this, it's really humorous. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, and when you watch it, just don't even take it seriously. It's one of those movies you just have to turn off your mind and just enjoy it. And honestly, I'm pretty sure if you smoke weed, then this movie will probably be really hilarious. I'm sure that this movie was probably made for people to smoke weed to and watch. It's just one of those movies. But, if it sounds interesting to you, I'll leave a link down below to the Facebook page of the film, so you can check that out. You can look at the pictures. I think there's a trailer online you can look at, and if you watch the trailer for it, I'll probably leave a link down below to that as well. Just check out the trailer, and if it looks any way decent to you, then I definitely recommend checking it out. You can get in touch with the director, and he'll probably send you a screener. I'm not quite sure when it's going to be officially released, but I know it will be soon, I'm sure. But anyway, guys, that was just my review for Weed Wolf. Like I said, if you're into no budget grindhouse style, basically stoner comedy slash horror, then I definitely recommend checking this one out. It is definitely just a over the top crazy. It's just a pretty hilarious movie, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to his next movie, which I will be reviewing this Friday. It's called Alabama Sasquatch, so stay tuned for that. And I've also got a few other independent movies that I will be reviewing next week, so stay tuned for those. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Check out the links down below, and I'll see you guys next time.